Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Sorry for my tardiness and my lateness. I fell asleep. I got woken up by a happy Amaret. She gave me a call and reminded me that I'm supposed to be here with you. Okay, so we've got a guest with us in the studio this evening. Sure, you all know this man by now.
Surprise, motherfuckers!
Bitch.
Happy, you're blocked. Told you you're getting blocked. Big up Happy's dad, but yeah, block her, budgie. Oh, can I just show off my t-shirt for Kieran?
Oh no, I can't do that. Yeah, come on,
Ooh,
please.
look at that.
T-shirt.
Look at Kieran on my t-shirt.
Hey,
Yeah, buddy. Happy, you're blocked. I told you you're getting blocked.
How many comments are there already, for fuck's sake? Oh, here we go. Look. All right, so Bubbles is in the house. Hello, Bubbles.
You know Bubbles is now, don't you, budgie?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah. And Hammeret's in the house. Evening, Hammeret. And Hammerhead is in the house. Absolute legends. And then Cams.
Big up Cams. Everybody apart from her. She's blocked. Everybody else big up.
Blocked from the big up. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't.
You're still asleep.
So yeah, I was still asleep, and obviously you were there. Stage fright. Bless you. Oh God, doing my hair. I was doing my hair apparently. But there you go. Come on, Budgie, be free. No, that couldn't have been you, could it?
Nah.
Not from your
I think
account.
Happy hacked my account.
Oh yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, I think
Blame her. Blame her for
everything. Yeah, gonna have to deal with that. Look, and I'm getting told, look, come on, Claude. Claude, but like, he's actually testing me already. Look. Anyway, so there's lots of people here commenting that I wasn't and that I was late, etc. Well, let's see who else is here. Let's go through it. Nobody really. Oh, look, there we go. Look, Ernie's in the house. Hello, Kieran. How are you, my friend?
Mascot.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah,
he's got so many nicknames, isn't he? Ernie.
I know. Yeah.
Harry, Geezer. Yeah. Harry Geezer. Mascot.
Yeah. The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Harry Geezer. He's got as many names as my daughter has. Yeah. So. Well, there's lots and lots of people here. Oh yeah, look, that's about right. Look, Amaret's saying to Bubbles that Kieran is the one in Australia. You know, the one that picked on me.
Lies.
All
lies.
It's not. He does pick on her. It's quite funny sometimes, but he does that. Anyway, right. Okay, so let's not to worry. Yeah, right. Thanks for that, guys. You know.
So you get
woken up by the one who matters. So I'm going to get all sorts of nonsense now. Need that shirt, Titch. That's mint.
Oh, let me show you the back.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you see the back?
Yeah, man. Titch 10. Hey. Loving that. And even Kieran says, look, that is quality, Titch.
It's annoying that he's so far away, because I would get him one, but nah, that's fucking... I don't even have any devices. You done it.
Yeah.
She was commenting under when she was saying all the stuff, summon Bug-G smugglers, that was all her. She hacked my account. Trust me.
Yeah, it must have been, I know. Yep.
All her.
Similarly to all of the blockings that have been done by me, yeah?
Yep. Same thing.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah.
She blocked herself.
I sneaked onto your phone in the middle of
the night. I think she blocked herself for the attention. That's what I think it was.
Dyeing your hair, Budgie, that won't take long, says Bubbles, but yeah, I know it'll take about 2 seconds. I can think of some names for fuckface.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me, is it?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah. sleeping on the job. And Zini, yeah, well, he's always sleeping on the job. Oh, that's sick. Right, okay, so, right, we've got rid of all the comments for now. Right, so, not very happy about this window, are you? Being honest.
Like I said yesterday, I'm surprised that you're surprised. Not you, just generally, you know. I was expecting at least one significant signing, so yeah, but I'm not surprised, but I'm a bit disappointed that not even one player. Not even one player. Yeah.
I know. And, like, you know, I think we actually did bring in one academy player in this window. Academy player, I mean, we're talking about like a 17-year-old kid.
Nah.
16, 17-year-old kid. I mean, that ain't going to sustain the club throughout the season, is it? Let's be honest. You know, we want to be challenging for, you know, silverware. We want to be challenging for titles. We're not going to do that on an handful of players. You know, you've got to have a fully functioning, ready and willing, fully rotating squad. Without that, you are not picking up titles. You know, not ones that matter anyway.
Yeah.
You know? And I think Leicester have learned that as well. Do you know what I mean? That's why they've started building quite a decent squad now, because they learned from when they did win the Premiership. They learned straight away, very quickly, that they couldn't sustain it. You know, it's okay doing it one-off, but if you're going to do that, you need to do it so that you can sustain that kind of level of achievement. You know, and a club like West Ham, we've never reached that level of achievement and been able to sustain it. You know, not for a long, long time. You know, we get used to it, but you know, in fairness, why should we get used to it? You know, we want to be called a club that's, you know, big club. We want to be one of the top clubs in London. We've got one of the best stadiums in the country. You know, we need to start acting like we're one of the best clubs in the country. Yeah. Surely.
You know what I would say is there's no competition for places in our squad, which is not a good thing. And then it goes back to the whole purpose of moving to the London Stadium was to, you know, progress, facilitate European football and growth. This transfer window sort of contradicts all of that. You understand? Like, we got into
every part of it.
Yeah. We got into Europa League and, you know, everybody was probably surprised, including the owners, maybe even David Moyes as well. Now that we're there, let's try and, you know, keep every season battling it out for those type of competitions. So to not sign anybody when we needed signings is a big spit in the face, I think, to everybody that follows West Ham.
I believe so. I believe so myself. And, you know, like, for example, you know, clubs like Chelsea, okay, so they haven't really strengthened either in this window. But to be fair, Chelsea really didn't have to.
No.
You know, they've got competition for every place in their squad. So, you know, to be fair, the only thing they need to do really is to line up the next player that's going to replace that player that's either about to leave or retire or something like that. Chelsea have been fortunate in that position where they've got the players already to, as I say, cover the loss of maybe you know, an important player in the club.
Yeah.
Now they've got players to recover that. And it's not always, you know, big name players either, especially with Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to remember that when Frank Lampard was in charge there, and, you know, at the helm of that, you know, he was under a transfer embargo for his first year there. Couldn't actually bring anybody in, and did what he had to do with his youth squad, or with the youth squad that was available to him. Thought he'd done a reasonable job myself. Yeah. You know, with what he had available to him. You know, So now that we haven't bought in the window, I ask you the question: does that mean we might start seeing some of the youth players coming through?
And my response would be, I highly doubt it. If we haven't seen them already, then I don't see what's going to change. You understand? Like we've had even the FA Cup game when we played Leeds. I did say I would rather him put out a fully second string, something like the Europa League, the 6th game where we was through already.
Yeah.
And I said, out of all of the players, Bowen shouldn't even make the squad because, he gives you 100% every single game. This is probably the only game that we can rest him. We didn't. Do you understand? So if we're not going to... When are you going to utilise these players? They're either not good enough or Moyes has got no faith in them. And I think it's a bit of both. So if you look at our FA Cup squad against Leeds, or the team, that lets you know these youngsters ain't cutting it. Just going on a side note, look, Arsenal let Aubameyang go. He was on 18 months left of his contract, 350 grand a week. They let him go for free, right?
Yeah.
We could have done the same with Yarmolenko. Someone would have taken him, and we could have got in 2 players on 50, 60k a week alone. You understand? The loan signings or whatever. So we could have just got rid of Yarmolenko and got rid of his wages, and then got 2 players in on loan. And even we could have got top quality players. Let's say, for instance, we got players that are on, let's say, 120 a week. Even if we pay half for the rest of the season, that's still less with 2 players, 120, less than we're paying Yarmolenko. So you understand? We could have just got 2 quality loan signings in that are eligible to play in the Europa League, and try and go for that like full throttle Europa League. But we just done nothing, and now it's done. The window's done now. So
yeah. And it kind of begs the question about the players that he brought in over the last window as well, though. I mean, like the likes of Alex Kroll. I mean, he was brought in on a loan deal. And I think he's had something like, I don't know, about an hour and 20 minutes of football since he's been here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a great, that's not a great return for the kind of player that he was promised to be.
Right.
He's had the perfect opportunity to play Alex Kroll from the start, and he's chosen to put Lanzini back there. The kind of, for me, the confusion starts when you're using a central attacking midfielder as a defensive midfielder. I mean, it kind of doesn't go well for me. It's like a bit of a bitter taste to that. Especially when he's got Alex Kroll sitting there, who came to us with a lot of promise. I mean, we'd been looking at him for a good 6 months or more in advance. His name came up in the previous window that when I first started getting involved with the YouTube stuff, I was hearing his name quite a lot at first, and that for that to sort of come to fruition, and then the guy's sitting on the bench and he's not being used. It kind of, it smacks of like Alex Kroll being a board signing rather than a David Moyes signing.
Yeah,
and that kind of confuses me as well. We've got Rob Newman now. I mean, this guy's still on furlough. Is he still on gardening leave from Man City? Like, what's going on?
When we qualified for Europe, right? If we go back to the end of last season, we had injuries to near the end of the season. Rice, Ogbonna, and Antonio. Those injuries cost us the top 4, right? Because they are key. They're a spine of our team, and they was key, right?
I agree. Yeah.
So clearly that that highlighted the lack of strength and depth that we had. When the season finished and we qualified for Europe, I said on a stream many times, we need to sign 7 quality players, that literally can walk into the team or provide, genuine competition, right? Yes, you would lose your Yarmolenkos and some. So you're not just going to get 7 in, and some people will go. But I'm saying we need some significant signings. Who do we sign? We signed Areola almost last minute. Krau last minute. Zuma was a fantastic signing. Who else did we sign? There was two more, and they was all seemed to be lastminute.com.
Hang on, who else did we sign? Oh,
So
yeah.
Krau,
What's his name?
Vlasic, literally last minute, and who was
that was
one more? I think. I swear there was one more.
Hang on, there was. Sorry, there was Zuma.
Or was that? Or was Oko Flex included in that 5? Or no?
I don't know. Where did we get Arco Flex from? Celtic.
Celtic, yeah. I don't know if he was the one. We got Zuma, Areola.
I think he was.
But what I'm... Alright, so this is what I'm saying. I'm saying at the time, realistically, if you want to have a competitive squad, I said 7 players. I'm not saying we're going to get them, but that's what you need. Now we're in Europe. Yeah, there's more games, more chance of injury. We signed a keeper that, he rarely plays. Krau hasn't played at all. Vlasic, he's only recently started playing. So none of these players have come in and just gone straight into the team, apart from Zuma. And even then, there was a little bedding in period. Right, so that didn't happen. And because of that, as soon as we lost Ogbonna, the problems started. Then we lost Zuma, even more problems, right? Now, we've got to January and we're still in the mix, right? And no signing. So it's not even about this window. It's about the last window, knowing that we're in the Europa League. And then this window. So the last 2 windows for me have been disastrous, and the club ain't showing no signal of intent that they want to, move forward as a club at all.
Yeah, I agree. And it kind of also shows sort of like a lack of confidence in David Moyes as well, if you ask me. I mean, we don't know what the situation was as to why we didn't buy in the window. Exactly. I mean, it could be that David Moyes was given a really slim budget and was told, do what you can with that, and he hasn't been able to do anything with it. Or is it that he was given a huge budget and he just chose not to use any of it? We don't really know the full truth of that. The only assumption that I can make is that, David Moyes had his eyes set on certain targets, and they were either unavailable or overpriced or something, and he hasn't picked up any of them. But that is still no excuse for not strengthening your squad. Surely even a player that we would consider as to be like an impact sub or a squad player, surely that is showing intent in strengthening your squad. It's Tits, can you bear with me 1 second? I've just got to quickly go and deal with something. Just 1 second, mate. I'll be back 1 second.
So those that are watching, happy. I'm surprised you're not blocked already. Look, simple. If you put it into some sort of context, if you're starving and you go to the shop and the shop don't have what you want, what do? You buy something else. You need to eat. West Ham are starving at this minute in time. Our squad is not strong enough. We haven't even thought about someone that can step in for Ogbonna, even if it's a temporary fix. And I said it yesterday, I think. Imagine Declan Rice gets injured. Then what? What do we do? Who do we put? Who does he play in there? You understand? He hasn't shown no faith in Krau for whatever reason. So you can't just rely in this day and age in the Premier League and Europa. Just hope that you can get through a season with 14 or 15 players. So yeah, imagine Budgie if Declan Rice did get injured. Then who steps in there?
Well, that's the question. That's the question I sort of alluded to, if you like, when I was mentioning Alex Krau. I mean, that was what he was brought in to do. It kind of it's an obvious replacement for Declan Rice, and yet it hasn't been done. It hasn't been done all season. I really don't think that with Alex Krau, he's A, been used to his best ability, and B, I don't think he's been used at the best times that he could be either. There's far too many far too many gaps in the outline of what David Moyes is doing. You know, and I know we're supposed to have faith in him, and he's produced the goods, as it were, so far. But like you said yourself, you can't win competitions with minimum amount of personnel. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't sustain the performance levels you need. You can't you, you can't compete at the highest level unless you've got competition and replacements for every single position. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So, we can say have faith in Moyes, and so far everything, it's all worked out. But Moyes is not in control of injuries. So
No.
you understand? And the thing is, what he is in control of is, and the board is having suitable replacements for key players that if and when they do get injured. So that's what they're responsible for. They can't control our injuries. So we can't have faith in someone who you can't control injuries.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. Just a quick question, by the way, Hamret. Is your spanner showing, by the way?
It is. It is.
Now. Yeah, it is, yeah?
Yeah. So, she's right, though.
Excellent.
What message are we sending to Declan Rice?
Exactly that. If we want to keep the top players that we've got, then we should be acting like a top club. And by not recruiting in this window, I don't believe that's sending out the right kind of message. I think that Declan Rice has got a massive decision on his hands now. I can't see him staying with us if we're not going to show him the ambition that he deserves. He is, after all, one of the top players in his position in the world right now. One of. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's one of. And to keep a player like that happy, you've got to have the players around him. You can't rely on that one man's performances. It's just not feasible.
Do you think that?
Yeah.
Do you think that? The fact that we haven't spent any money. Do you think that the club are resigned to losing him? They know he's going in the summer, and maybe they're just going to use those funds for a rebuild rather than spend now. Do you think? Because that would make more sense than just not signing anybody. Maybe they're going to cash in, and then that's where Newman and that comes into play, where they can spend that whatever we get for him, they can spend it wisely enough to minimise the loss of Rice. Do you understand? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Cam say?
Cam. He was
before
saying,
that.
He was saying, God, yeah, 1,000%. But when he does leave, it's not going to be all doom and gloom, judging by Villa's experience losing their most valuable.
Because they invested wisely.
They did, and they were right up until the closing minutes of the window as well. So, that's an example that we should be setting. We really should. Kieran says that he agrees with Cam, but we might lose him earlier because of a lack of ambition. And
who said that?
That's what Kieran says. Yeah, he can talk sense at times, the fella. He's not just he's not just a hairy-faced fella that talks bollocks. He can actually make sense at times. Well done, Kieran. Yeah, what was it he said about one from each team back off and was doing that?
Yeah, no, so
he's done one of the better ones. I've watched
Yeah.
it and again now. And
yeah,
with that all out attacking mindset approaching that, it's one of the better teams. But
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I have to kind of admit that. Although I still think that my team would give him a run for his money.
all of the teams will be competitive but
Yeah.
it would be good if you could do a simulator and just put them in and play. That would be
I
good.
know, you know what I mean? Like everybody get the right FIFA settings
Yeah.
on that. Be great. Yeah, but excuse me. The lack of ambition, that is going to be one of the stumbling blocks with keeping players like Declan Rice and the likes, you know, and Jared Bowen as well. You know, I
Mm.
mean, everybody's sort of like saying, oh, you know, he's not going anywhere. They've seen this picture of him with Danny Dyer's dad, Danny. There's a lovely picture of the two of them together. Looks really, you know, looks like they're really happy in each other's company and so on and so forth. Really lovely picture, you know. But even that kind of draw, that kind of um, the word I'm looking for is, yeah, for him to have a reason to stay at West Ham, got to be bigger than because of the birdie shagging. You know, her dad supports the club. It's got to be bigger than that. The reason he's with us, it's got to be bigger than that. You know, I mean, the guy has been putting in 10 out of 10 performances for the last 4 or 5 months. You know, I, not every week, I grant you, but you know, Jared Bowen has been probably one of the most informed players in the club. You know, and I just don't want us to lose the likes of Jared Bowen and Declan Rice and that because of a lack of ambition. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that would be criminal, to be fair. In my opinion, that would be criminal. You know, you lose a player of that kind of stature because we're not supporting his ambition and we're not matching his ambition as a club. You know, that's got to be hard to take for a player, surely. You know,
That's optimism from Cams there.
if we somehow pull Champions League out of the bag, he'll stay. Yeah, I'd say that's a highly optimistic approach. You know, what's Hammeret saying? Oh, didn't light up. There we go. Bubbles. We all understand that Moyes is a dithering dick sometimes, and we support who he wants. But Christ, there was no one out there anywhere better than Yarmo.
Exactly. We could have got two players to the end of the season on loan, paying them less than we're paying
for
him.
less money than it would cost.
Yeah, because
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
big players, because their club would have paid, you know, maybe half of the loan fee, so we still could have got quality players in, two for one.
Yeah, and you know, from my understanding, that if we'd have approached Chelsea and asked for Callum Hudson-Odoi, we'd have got him.
See,
that's my understanding. You know,
yeah.
and he's a player I would like to see in Claret Blue.
Of course, you put him on the left wing, and he's gonna be better than what we've got on the left wing in regards to goals and assists. So yeah.
Amaret says if we use the money wisely, I'm presuming we're speculating about a rights move. If we were to use the money wisely, like Villa, but can you see it? Can anyone see West Ham using that kind of income wisely? No, I can't. I really can't. Yeah, I can't. Kind of. I when I think about big money signings for our club, I just automatically go straight back to Haller. Always, you know. There was a lot of promise when he came to us, and you know there was a list of attributes that people could have polished up for Haller, and you know he would have been the next best thing since sliced bread. He turned out to actually be bloody useless for us in some respects.
You know, I just think that the system and the manager didn't suit him. I made a video as soon as he left, and I said, look, he's going to go to Ajax and he's going to score. I think I said he'd probably score around 15 for, you know, the part of the season that he joined them. He's then gone on to, you know, be the top scorer in the Champions League. So it wasn't Haller. If the system doesn't suit, and once again, it goes back to your recruitment. That's a player that didn't fit in, and then you bring in a manager that is not gonna play him. So you understand what I'm saying to you? It's about that's why managers need time. You need the right investment, and you need a plan. And then that way, you bring in players that that everybody is on board. Yeah, you put Haller and Moyes together. Moyes would never go out and sign Haller, but he was forced to play him. So it's either.
And in fairness, we saw moments of brilliance from Haller while he was playing in Claret and Blue. I mean, like the two beautiful overhead kicks in one season. Rarely get them out of a player in a complete career, let alone two in a season. I mean, both of them were on target. Both of them produced goals. They were absolutely quality finishes.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough. It really wasn't enough.
He didn't suit us.
No, he didn't. And, similarly, I believe that, Timo Werner, as good as he was while he was in the Bundesliga, that stuck a blue shirt on the man and it kind of froze his legs. He became like a donkey to the club. My brother always complaining about him. And yet, you stick a German shirt on him or something and, you see something rather special.
Exactly.
And I think it's a similar story with Haller and Werner, that just wasn't happening for them with the players around them. As good as the players around them are. You can't deny Chelsea's midfield. Pretty good. Hammerette says summer 2023 will be Rice's last time with us, in my opinion. We have 18 months left to get the most out of him and also use him as bait to bring in more talent. Yeah. The thing with that is that a lot of players are going to be kind of clued up as to that kind of scenario being a distinct possibility. So, I don't know. Using him as bait, I'm not so sure. But,
When's his contract run out?
I believe it's not this summer coming, but the following summer.
What, in 2023? If that's correct,
I believe so.
Well, by Happy's theory, we lose him for free. That lets you know we have to sell him in the summer. We have to sell him. Otherwise, he goes for free.
It could be that there's another. It could be 24. Actually, I can't actually check it right now, but it's either 23 or 24 in the summer. But yeah, you're right. If it is next year, then yeah, this summer coming up is our last opportunity to cash in.
Yeah,
definitely.
And now that means his value will go down slightly if he's only got a year left. But if somebody wants him, they won't run the risk of someone else getting him. So we can still get good money for him, but not as much. The longer it goes on, the less money he's worth because of his duration.
That's right, and we've had a similar view on that when it comes to Lingard. This time last year, had we have wanted to sign him rather than on loan, we'd have wanted to put a permanent offer in front of him. I think he would probably have cost us somewhere in the region of 24 to 28 million. This time last year. Yeah. Now that we're a year on and he's only he's less than 6 months away from the termination of his contract now, or the end of his contract. That now sort of at least halves the value that he would have been worth a year ago, at least half. So we're talking about maybe him being worth 9 to 11 million. I kind of as an open deal, as someone coming in to buy him, 9 to 11 million probably would have secured it. But United have blocked him moving for one reason or another, or more than one reason. But we've got to understand also that there must be a certain amount of desire from the player to want to leave the club he's with or to join the club that he's linked with or whatever. There's got to be a certain amount of desire within the player. And, for all we know, there may not have been any desire in Jesse Lingard to leave this window. We've all, basically taken it as a lost opportunity. But in the summer, a £5 or £6 million signing on fee may just secure a 3-year contract with him.
Yeah, and I said a while back that I feel Jesse Lingard is waiting for a big payday, right? He's gonna remember there's no tournament between now and then, so he's not gonna miss out on a tournament before he gets back to playing. So he's gonna I think, he's looking at Man United and saying, look, you lot have played hardball with me, I've been here since I was a kid, I'm gonna do the same, you're not gonna get nothing for me, and he's going to get a massive, and then I think he's going to weigh up his options. Like, is it Newcastle? Is it West Ham? Depending on, what we're doing. So he knows that he holds all the cards and he's going to gladly now see out the last 5 or 6 months. So it was always, for me, it was always about the money, I think, and that payday. Because he now knows that coming on a free, that might be an extra year as a contract offer because, they're not paying for him. So whereas people might say, look, we give you a 2-year contract. Now he might go and they might be happy to give him a 3-year deal. So, yeah, it's a money move, I believe, for Lingard.
I'm not sure whether that would be perfectly accurate, to be honest with you, because I don't see Lingard as being one of these greedy players. He's never really given me that impression. He's had opportunities to move in the past, I would have thought. There must have been inquiries about him from clubs in the past.
But
but he's chosen to stay. And I suppose because he's been at the club since he was a kid, like Mark Noble is with us, he has a strong sense of loyalty and respect for the club. He's a Man United supporter. There's no doubt in that. There's no denying it. But like you said, his career is at stake as such, and he has to make the right move for his career. Now, I would argue that Newcastle isn't the right career move for him, based upon their performances and league position at the moment. But then, are we any better at an opportunity for him at this moment in time? Are we any better than that?
And this is what I'm saying. So if I was his agent, if I was Jesse Lingard's agent, and whoever his agent is close to him, I would be playing this game. I'd say, look, see it out. In between that now, we can speak to clubs. We can find out, someone might offer him a 5-year deal. Remember, he's only 29. That takes him to 34. Maybe 4 years, whatever. So as his agent, I'd be saying to him, listen, let's see what Newcastle are going to do. Because when you're in talks with them, they'll tell you their transfer targets and all of that, their plan. Oh, Badgie's not even here. Is he back?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, his agent should be speaking to clubs abroad and, what's your plan? You understand? What is your 2-year plan, your 3-year plan? Now, at the end of the season, they will know, okay, well, Villarreal, this is what they're offering. This is what this is their plan. Newcastle, West Ham, Everton. He's going to have all these options. He's probably going to have at least 10 options. Arsenal. Yeah. And then now it comes down to the club ambition, the finances, and who can... Because remember, at the end of the day, football is a short career. So he's well within his rights to hold out. And like I said, for me, it's always been, I believe this is a money thing. As in, final big contract, longevity. Can I get a 4-year? Can I get a 5-year? Some of these clubs would give him a 5-year deal. Do you understand? It's Jesse Lingard in their eyes. So I just think, now, because of the situation, he's doing what's right for him and he's protecting himself and, it's a financial thing. I believe that. As well as, the football will come into it. If he gets a good offer from a top club that matches a lower club, then of course he's going to go there. But I'm saying if he gets a much better offer from someone like Newcastle rather than Arsenal, for instance, he's going to go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, agreed. And, to be fair, like I said, is Newcastle a good career move for him? I don't believe it is because, there's a lot of speculation that Newcastle are going to go back down, etc., etc. But for me, I think that Lingard needs to surround himself with the players he wants to be playing with in international games as well. Like, for example, at Man United, there's a handful of players that qualify and regularly get picked for the England setup. At West Ham, we've got Declan Rice, and hopefully, as we all would hope, Jarrod Bowen may soon be on that list also. He can't be ignored for long with the kind of performances he's putting in. But then also, he's already spent a loan spell with us, got to know the guy, got into
didn't come back.
He got into the format of becoming a West Ham player. I mean, while he was with us, Titch, there's no denying that he behaved in a manner befitting the club. Okay, maybe some of that was not necessarily forced upon him, but we hear the stories about when he was in the car with Noble and Creswell, and he was told, oh, we don't use phones while we're about, we talk, that and all that kind of stuff. I mean, as true or as made up as those stories may be, they're quite commonplace stories. It's not just us that's saying this; it's other people that say similar things, including more established media outlets like Sky News and stuff like that, Sky Sports News, sorry, and people like that. They're quoting the same quotes and stories that we all are. That's where a lot of us are getting it from, to be fair. He seemed like he was happy when he was playing for us. He became a part of what we consider to be West Ham. He fully embraced the crowd. While he could, I mean, there was only a couple of games that he played with a crowd, wasn't it? But he fully embraced it. He embraced the culture of the club. He scored on his debut, and when he did, first thing he did was an east side with excuse me, with crossed hammers and stuff. Weren't the only time he did it while he was with us. I actually believe that he would be happier coming back to us. I do believe that. I believe that he really feels that he was a part of the building process of the club, and I think he would probably be disappointed that he's not back. I would hope so, anyway.
I believe that. Yes, he fitted in. He done what he should have done as a professional. But you got to remember, he is all about Instagram and all of that. So him not using his phone, that goes against his natural instinct. So he would have done it out of respect. It doesn't mean he was happy with it. If, something different, I'm going to do this. You understand? But he loves Instagram and all of that stuff. So Kieran Trippier is like a real good friend of his. Now, if you compare Newcastle to Man City 10 years ago, when Man City, they was no one thought too much, like, because Man City was known for going down, coming up, going down.
Yeah.
So these people have got more money, much more money than the Man City owners. So why would we not believe that? And they're doing similar to what Man City done. Man City didn't buy, they bought Robinho, yes, but I'm saying they bought your Bellamy's and they didn't buy top tier straight away. They stabilised, and this is what Newcastle are doing. So these people, if they're here to stay, then why would we be surprised if in 5 years Newcastle is just like Man City? They've got the money. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So why would he not go there? One, for the pay packet, and two, he might say, look, we're speaking to Haaland, for instance. I'm not saying he's going to go there, but he's going to hear these names. Like, wow, I'm going to be playing with him. And so they become a much more attractive proposition than West Ham.
Yeah,
And that would be
yeah,
West Ham minus Declan Rice. So if he was going to come back to West Ham, he would have been here already. He's not coming back to West Ham. No chance.
yeah. I
Yeah, that's
kind
what I
of
believe.
feel that way. I kind of feel that way now as well,
Yeah,
especially after 2 weeks of being in the window. Because I
yeah,
thought to myself that, should he be coming back, it's a deal that's probably already done and dusted, just needs an
exactly.
actual signature. And, the blessings of both clubs, as it were, officially.
Yep.
And it didn't come. It didn't come for 2 weeks. And then I was thinking, is it going to happen? And then there was stories about him going to Newcastle, and I was thinking, that's it. He's definitely going to go to Newcastle. And obviously, having thought about it, instead of kind of looking at it with horrified eyes, I kind of looked at it a little bit more objectively. And I thought, well, perhaps, he hasn't signed for us because of the interest from Newcastle. And, just out of respect, he's got to kind of see that interest through to the end. And we'll still get his signature and this and that. And it didn't happen. And it got to Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. That was when I looked at things and I went, we're not actually going to sign anybody. And least of all, Jesse Lingard. And, a few hours later, another story emerged that Jesse Lingard had been granted permission to talk to anybody and this and that. And, in the same breath, they're going, oh, yeah, you can talk to anybody, but you ain't going to West Ham.
Yeah,
It's kind of what
that's
we were hearing.
that's the stories, yeah. But have you ever thought that West Ham don't want him? Have you ever thought that Rob Newman may well, he might be looking out there for your Gabriel Jesus's and all of these type of players for when we have to do a rebuild? Maybe we are just waiting and, he's got some young, hungry prospects lined up and all of that, and we don't want Lingard. You understand? Like, if he's come in, that's too easy. That's not him doing his job. Rob Newman and we signing Lingard, he's not doing his job. His job is to go out and scout some fresh, new talent, unknown quantities. So I think if we really wanted Lingard, we would have made a big deal about it. And I don't think we wanted him as, yeah. Newman was brought in head of recruitment and we to negotiate transfers. Moyes' words. So what happened? Well, maybe, like I said, Newman probably said, listen, Lingard's not, he's 29. You know, understand? Like, so maybe Newman has said, look, Lingard is not the way we want to go.
Mm-hmm. And just maybe Newman has had no influence on this window at all.
No, because like I said, Declan Rice money is what Newman will spend.
That's probably what he's gearing up for. Declan Rice money, yeah. Now look, we're at such and such a point. We're going to have X amount of, money to spend. Start working towards it. Start, looking at targets, etc. But there's also, why didn't anybody come forward in this window? Why was there such a kind of blackout on news and stuff? Okay, I understand that Dave Moyes likes to keep stuff that's close to his chest, and he doesn't want to talk about other players while they're contracted to another club and this and that. But I mean, to say nothing and to say very little are two different things. And he hasn't actually said nothing. He's said very little, in my opinion. And that very little is, I'm not going to talk about other players while they're signed to another club or contracted to another club. By saying that, he's basically saying, I'm not actually going to talk to anybody unless they're allowed to talk to me, or unless they approach me or something. That kind of smacks of, not incompetence as such, but it kind of smacks of unconfident.
But maybe he's being fully what's the word? Like, for instance, Budgie. Let's say, for instance, everybody's arranged a surprise party for you, and then you don't know, and you're speaking to me. Oh, what you doing on this? And I'm like, and I'm being very vague with you, right? Mm-hmm. Because the reason why is because I know what's planned. Maybe Moyes has got. You understand? Like, they might be saying, look, we're selling rice. These are the targets. You know, boom, boom, boom. And now he's got to come. He has to say something, but there's not really too much he can say. So maybe he's just saying, look, really, truly, you know, if West Ham was going to sign anybody, we would have done it on the first 5 days of the window. We would have signed somebody. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's either there's no plan or there's a bigger picture plan, which has to be involved selling Declan Rice. It's one or the other, and that's why Moyes is vague, and you know, he's probably trying to protect the owners, and because, like I said, if there is stuff going on behind the scenes that they believe is, you know, will be for the benefit of West Ham, there's only so much that he can actually come. He can't say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to sell Declan Rice in the summer. Then everyone's like, what the fuck? You understand? So yeah, maybe he just kind of can't really say too much until it happens.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, do you believe in the stories that are circulating that we approach Leeds for Rafinha or Calvin Phillips?
No, frivolous bids. You know, there'll be, even if it's 1/3 of the fans that, yes, look, yeah, like, so you understand, you keep some people happy, but no, you wouldn't bid that late and that much. So it's all frivolous or phantom or whatever you want to call it. Right, Budgie, I need to go because in 10 minutes I'm starting with Lawrence.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Yeah,
no
so
problem.
I've got to go.
I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up anyway. I'll go through a few of the comments and then I'll
nice one.
Up, mate.
Thanks for having me on. And
no, thank you for joining me, mate. You're the first of hopefully many guests that I'll have on the channel. But I want to thank you for your encouragement, inspiration, and your help for me getting where I am now. So
that's
thank
my
you.
Pleasure, man.
I appreciate it, mate. Everybody, unless you're already aware, and I'm sure you already are, Hams Fans United, check it out.
Right.
There it is. There it is. And Titch, Cams, Davey, and sometimes he gets the old fart on there as well.
Mascot. He's the man in charge. He tells me who to block and all that.
But thank you so much for joining me, Titch, and thank you for yourself and Amaret for waking me up. I did have a couple of lagers this afternoon, so I dozed off in the sofa and I just wasn't there. My head wasn't there. But no, great. It's been brilliant having you on, mate. As usual, always enlightens my outlook when you talk, because you always tend to look at it from a coaching point of view most of the time, and that's a completely different approach to the way I look at the game, because I've never coached.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, it helps me to kind of cover all the bases, if you like. You know, when I chat with yourself and people in your position. So I want to thank you for that, and you know, we'll have something happening soon, hopefully on the channel that I want to get you involved in as well, Tip. So
definitely.
Cool.
I like being part of, you know, if like, for instance, Stuart's got a game show lined up, so I look forward to going on and taking part on, you know, what you're doing, and I'm just a guest or whatever. So
I've also got a game show idea coming up. Coming up, it's already rolling around my head, and it's based on a game show on TV called Celebrity Squares. You said to me that you remember the name, but you don't remember the name, the format.
But
the format of the game. Well, it'll all become evident once you know. I it's not going to be easy for me to get this together, because it means having like 6 guests on the show.
Yeah,
and me as a question master kind of thing. And
don't put me on with no. The people that I don't want to be. Don't put me on with them.
It's like putting the Sun on the same paper as the Financial Times.
You know already. Most of them.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. But you know, it's just gonna be a little bit of fun, hopefully. If I can get this format that I've got the idea of, if I can get this concept into an actual format and into a show, you're definitely going to be one of the people I want to get on there, because it will suit you so well. The
I
kind
look
of
forward to
knowledge
it.
that you'll need. It's
I
yeah.
look forward to it.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping. I'm hoping I can. I can get it working. If I can't, I will be in touch and asking you how the flipping hell do I get
Yeah.
this to work?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll probably bounce some ideas off you soon anyway, though, brother. Look, I'm going
No
to let you
problem.
go. You've got
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
11 minutes or
No, I've
9
got
minutes.
9 minutes. But yeah, I'm
9
gonna
minutes.
listen. You lot, born in USA, back with Lawrence. So when Budgie finishes, come over there and yeah, get involved,
We're all going
please.
over together, all of us. We're all coming
but, uh,
over together, mate. Don't worry about that.
but but yeah, I'm gonna jump out, Budgie. I've got 5 minutes
All
to
right,
just get
no
ready.
problem. Thank you,
Nice one.
sis.
See you later,
Take
everyone.
care.
Thank you. Nice
Take
one,
care.
Budge. See you later. Bye bye.
Nice one, mate. Take care. Bye. That was lovely. I do like having chat to. He's a good lad. Right, let's just go for a few more comments and then I'm going to wrap it up. I don't want to chew up his time. Epic, thank you for joining us, mate. He says, want to bet Moyes is going to say he had the money, but no one was available at the moment on the market. It's exactly what he's going to say. Amaret says exactly to Kieran. Meanwhile, Burnley signed a striker in a week when they lost their player. Correct, he did. Ken saying happiness. We tried to get in players, but we couldn't agree on things. No one available. Yeah, it's all that bollocks, isn't it? So let's go. Right, let's go down and see if who else is in the house. Rob Singleton's in the house. Thank you for joining us, Rob. I am trying to give West Ham some leeway, thinking they have a bigger picture in sight, but I'm having trouble seeing it with what's going on. Yeah, exactly that. Oh, hang on. Kieran says bubble. Happy says won't burst. Of course, bubble won't burst. Bubble's your dad. Wally's in the house. There's only one best one from each team picked by science. You can't cheat. You cannot cheat and use a computer on stuff like that, Wally. I'm just not having it. It's not happening. Yeah, that's it, Kieran. Talking bollocks again, he says. He needs, oh, Hammerhead. Really? It's a bit early to talk like that. Bowen is with us until 25. Wow, didn't realise that. Unless we get offered stupid money for him. That can't be turned down. In which case, we then need to recruit more with every penny. Yeah, but we all know that that's not going to happen. You know, we'll probably sell him for 30 quid. That's the kind of bloody club that we are. Buy big, still small. Stupid. Yeah, Rob's head's in a mucking fuddle, and I know exactly how that feels, mate. That's how I felt when I got a phone call saying, Smugs, you're supposed to be on air. What? Yeah, I was in a mucking fuddle as well. Thank you, Hammerhead. Hammerhead, there will be many fans screaming that as soon as we start losing, yeah. But a decent manager deserves more than that. I'm backing Moyes 100%. Just frustrated. Frustrated with the window, I take it, is what you mean. And yeah, I agree. Tactically, we've got a great manager in Moyes. I mean, he doesn't really make a hell of a lot of mistakes. He may not rectify the mistakes he has made as quickly as we would hope, but he makes them so rarely, you know. Haller is a baller. Yeah, true. Who else is there? Rooney? No, we would not want Rooney. We would not want Shrek as our manager. I'm sorry, but that's just not happening. Uh, okay, right. Well, look, Rice's contract is up in 24, so in 23 we sell him. So he can trust you to come up with the facts. See? Always do, hammer it. Because of the lack of action in the January window, this summer's window needs to be huge with a capital Huge. Bubbles says and we have an option of extending Rice's contract as well. That doesn't necessarily mean that he will agree to the extension, though, and he has to sign it, I suppose. But yeah, Rex agrees with you. Kieran says 90 million is the most we will get for Declan Rice. Shoot me. No, I ain't going to shoot you, Kieran, but I'm just going to tell you you're wrong. I don't think that 90 million is going to be the most we'll get. I actually believe that will be the minimum we'll get. I don't think that anybody is going to embarrass themselves by trying to offer less than that. I think 100 million is going to be around about the right sort of target. We would all like to see 150s and 160s and whatever, but realistically, it's going to be 150. Right, like, guys, I've got about 4 minutes before young Titch starts up, so I am going to I'm going to have to miss out on most of those comments, everybody. But what I will say is thank you everybody for joining us. Kieran says, "Shove Piggy Shove is a good game." Shove Piggy Shove, shove 8p. And Kieran, bit of advice for you: never shove your granny while she's shaving. Happy don't like not having anyone in. She's never happy about that anyway. Right, so Bubbles is saying, bye all, got to go now. See you later. Thank you, Trevor, for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure chatting with you, mate. And Amberette saying good night, Pops. Kieran saying good night. Night, happy. And Cam's is saying good night as well. Right, listen. I do. Never shove your granny while she's shaving. That's right, isn't it, Kieran? Okay, guys and girls, thank you for joining me. I do apologise for being late. I also apologise for taking out your time with a lot of old bollocks. It was brilliant to see Titch on with us. Kieran and I will be getting together in the next day or so to record the next Football Refocused. Hopefully, Kieran's got a cracker of a story for us. I know that you'll probably enjoy my story. It's not necessarily a football story, but it is a good one and it is funny. And people will be absolutely shocked at how it started and how it ended. So that's all I'm going to tell you. But everybody, get over to Hams Fans United. Go and log in, like the stream. If you ain't already subscribed to his channel, please do. If you haven't subscribed to Green Street Elites, please do. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Have a great evening. Go over and see Titch, and I will see you real soon. Take care, everyone.